Good Monday morning to you. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. This is your outlook for November 25th, 2013. And we're going to use the GFS as a point of reference here with this storming coming here because the models are starting to narrow down on the same idea here, but the GFS allows me to use a little synoptic overview. There might be a few differences, swings, maybe 25 miles, 50 miles either way, that may make a difference in how much snow you get versus rain. But I want to show the GFS. This is actually the 18Z because I think it might actually have pretty close to the right idea here. Here's what we're looking at for today on your Monday. It's still going to remain quite cold, and that's going to feel like a lot warmer than Sunday though, because the winds are going to die down considerably. Very blustery day yesterday, getting down to the 20s in many areas. It was just a very raw, cold, windy day. And today, with the wind slacking off, it'll feel a lot warmer, even though the temperatures will barely be getting above freezing in some areas here. We're going to go a little bit forward in time here now. We're going to go to, this is Tuesday morning and Tuesday afternoon. You get the system coming down from the south here. It's just starting in their picture here, and moisture streaming out ahead of it. The temperatures here out ahead of the storm here are generally conducive of a rain-snow mix. So, I mean, you're hovering around the mid-30s, maybe 36, 37, 38 degrees as the precipitation moves in. So you're probably going to have rain mixed with snow initially. And here in the next frame here, this is actually Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. And you can see northwest of I-95 here, so places places like Allentown and Sussex, New Jersey, all the way over to Harrisburg and back into central PA. You get into this mix here. That's a mixture of rain and snow, and you might have some quick accumulations on the front end here. Especially these southern fringe areas, you might get a coating or an inch. And then you go further northwest up towards the Poconos, you might hold on to the snow a little bit longer and end up with maybe an inch or two, three. As you get up towards Williamsport, you're talking about 4 or more inches of snow. So we do have a weather alert map out for this storm itself, but we'll have to narrow it down as we get a little bit closer here, because right now we're still just on the first call stage and using probabilities. But this storm here is actually moving up from the south here. There's a couple differences in this track here, and some of the GFS takes it on a track kind of like this, and because of that, cutting over South Jersey is a little bit too close here to get appreciable snow here. You can get it back further this way here where you get the heavier snows, but in this area it's just not going to happen because you have warm air advection moving in and out of the system, and you see where the isobars are pointed here. They're pointed to the southeast, and that means you have you're going to have a changeover from the snow, or a mixture of rain and snow, over to rain overnight Tuesday night and Wednesday. And I'll show you here the next frame here as we get beyond this, and you can see for most areas it changes over to rain over our coverage area, and hanging on to the frozen stuff out in central PA here. Now, one thing we have to watch, the GFS has this low going up to the north here, and it has another one down here that has to push through as well. It has a 2 separate low system. Pretty much every model has that same idea. And then with the second area of low pressure, it's going to drag some cold air in behind it. And so by the time we get to the end of the storm here, the second one moves up the coast and kind of bombs out here. And look what happens. From west to east, you get this band of snow that comes through. You might actually get more snow on the back end if this works out than the front end does. And you can get some accumulations on the back end before this band finally moves through. It probably will be snow as the temperatures crash and winds shift to the northwest. Going to the European model now, this is the other side of it. This is total precipitation. This is including rain and snow, and if it was all melted in liquid form here. And you can see we're all talking across a very large part of our area. We're talking about a general 1 to 2 inches of rain, maybe some higher amounts across New Jersey, approaching 3 inches. But for the most part, we're talking about a 1 to 2 inch, 1.5 to 2 inch type rainfall that's going to be in the Tuesday night through Wednesday time frame. Out here in central PA, we're hanging on the snow longer, or at least north central PA. You could be talking about the liquid equivalent of snow melted, and then whatever rain that falls on top of that as well will equal these amounts. So considerable amount of precipitation with it. We need the rain. We've been in a drought for many areas, and this will definitely be welcomed from that standpoint. Here's the latest NAM. This is the 0Z NAM, and this is actually pretty close to the idea of the track. Now, I told you the GFS kind of takes a track that's kind of a little bit further inland. The NAM is actually a little bit further southeast, but this hugs right along the coastline. And then you have the European model does the same thing a little bit further east, and that's why it's showing these higher amounts. So you see how close these tracks are, but the difference between this and this and this make a big difference between snowfall inland. That's why the GFS doesn't have very much until the tail end. And when you go to the NAM, it's showing a little bit more, the European model even more than this. So it's just going to depend on where this track ends up here. And then if it ends up just offshore, you get more snow. If it cuts inland, you get more rain, and that's just how it works out. And right now we'll have to narrow that down before we do our final call on Monday evening and release that to the public. But you see here, from Lancaster to Allentown to Sussex, New Jersey, you're talking about an inch of snow, not a big deal. And then you have further northwest, you're talking about a 1 to 3, 2 to 4 type inch situation, especially up here by Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area. You're talking about a 2 to 4 inch type snowfall, and then back in central PA here, you're over 6 inches. So, it's pretty close to our first call map that we put out here. We have mostly rain in the green areas here. This area in the pink here is the best chance. This is, of course, probabilities only, not exact amounts. Best chance to see over an inch would be in the pink area. Best chance to see over 3 inches in the light blue, and over 6 would be in the dark blue. So it matches up pretty close. We're pretty happy with that. And then we go back. We're going to go back to the GFS here for after this point. Temperatures here on Thanksgiving are going to really plummet. Might get some flurries if we get some lake effect going, but it's going to feel like it did on Sunday on Thanksgiving Day for many areas, with temperatures struggling to get above freezing. It probably won't in many areas. And then we have some slight moderation in temperatures throughout the rest of the week, and we're not looking at any precipitation as we head through next weekend until we get to about Sunday, and you might have to deal with a front moving through at that point. Getting a little bit far out of our forecast range at that point. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, stay tuned to the Facebook page for the latest updates in rapid fashion on Monday, and we will have a final call map out on this storm on Monday evening, so look for that. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchers, and that is your outlook for November 25th, 2013. Have a great Monday.